How is for a British person, for an Englishman, to live in Madrid? Let's do it maybe chronological. What were the chronologically? What were the challenges? Where are you at? How happy you feel? Would you ever go back to England? Like, let's talk about Tom in Spain for a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So when I first moved over, my initial plan actually, look, I was an ignorant dickhead in the past, and probably some level of me, I am still an ignorant dickhead. So when I first moved,
Aren't we all?
Yeah, exactly. When I moved over for the first time, it was I really had the plan that I was going to convince my ex-girlfriend to leave Spain as soon as possible and come back to the UK. Don't ask me why that was my plan. That was my plan at the time. I wanted to take her and take her back to the UK because I had no interest in living in Spain. I was only there to be with her. And when I first kind of started assimilating, or when I first touched down in Madrid, for the first year, really, it was quite a difficult year because, as you know, if you moved around a bit yourself, you don't have any friends when you first go somewhere. And of course, like, the language barrier for me was very big. I only learnt Spanish here in Spain. I didn't know any Spanish before. I didn't learn anything at school, nothing at all. So all the Spanish that I learned from day one being here. And yeah, so that first year was definitely quite difficult, and it was in that first year, not to talk about jiu-jitsu again, but that I started learning jiu-jitsu because I wanted to better myself in another way, and I wanted to learn something because I was working a lot of jobs that I really didn't like. A very common career path when you move to Spain for the first time is to teach English. I had zero idea and zero interest in teaching English, but obviously I needed money, so I was teaching English. I was going to different schools all over Madrid. I was a substitute, so every day I'd get sent to a different school in a different location. Kids would be super happy when they saw me because they're like, "Hey, no hay profe." And I'm standing there like the giddy idiot that I am, and I'm just like, "What the hell are these kids saying?" And I'm trying to teach them, and they're all like in the ages of 3 to 10, so it's the worst age group because they're just absolutely so hard, especially with no language in common. So yeah, that first year was quite difficult. But I definitely saw something in Spain that I liked. And then once I finally got out of the teaching roles, and I started working for a Spanish startup, I met a lot of friends, a lot of Spanish friends, and a lot of international friends in the company that I was working for. And it was just, from then on, it was a really amazing experience, and I was like, "Wow, I'm never leaving Spain. This is like the best place in the world." And I started to love everything about it. I started to discover more of Spain, and I was more open-minded to maybe spending more time here. And yeah, so that was kind of after the year point was when I really, and that's something that a lot of people ask me as well. They're like, how long did it take you to feel like Spain is your home? And I said probably about a year. Because at the start it is hard. Yeah, as I say, it's difficult to make friends anywhere you go. But at that year point was when I started to really get into the flow of things. And that's not to say I actually ended up leaving Spain briefly. I've left Spain a couple of times briefly. But whenever I've left, I've always there's been a part of me that I think I left in Spain. So there's always something that calls me back to Spain. And I went to London for a little bit, for example, and I'll work really, and I was like, get me the hell out of London, get me back to Madrid. The lifestyle here is just, it's for me, it's what I love. So yeah.